All empires say the same thing. Our money is safe. Every government adds, there's no need to change this system, it's the best. And history smiles at these words every single time, because people have lived through the same events again and again. One day they woke up and saw that the money they had saved for years was no longer worth anything. Their salaries had turned into pieces of paper. Their futures had melted away inside systems they believed were unshakable. In fact, this is not a rare story at all. Quite the opposite. Collapse is not rare. It is the rule. The real question is not, can financial systems collapse? They can. They always have. The real question is this: what do you do when the system collapses? Most of us see money as solid as rock, the numbers in our bank accounts, the banknotes in our wallets, as if they will always be there. But money is not rock. Money is trust. And trust can sometimes evaporate overnight. That is why history is brutal, but incredibly instructive. Every major collapse leaves traces behind. What truly worked, what became completely useless, and if you look closely, you notice this. Those who survived were not the ones who trusted the most, but the ones who doubted first. Think about the Byzantine Empire, an empire that survived for another 1,000 years after Western Rome collapsed. At the heart of its economy was the gold solidus. It was trusted so deeply that everyone from Europe to the Middle East accepted it. It was literally the dollar of the Middle Ages. You might think, Rome destroyed its silver coin. Surely Byzantium learned a lesson. But no, centuries later, history repeated itself, this time with gold. The purity of the coin slowly deteriorated over time. At first no one noticed. Then something began to go wrong. Trust cracked. And the coin that once held trade firmly upright turned into a political fairy tale. So who remained standing? Those who trusted the empire to the very end? No. Those who quietly accumulated gold, bought land, and held value where the system could not reach. The first major lesson is here. States cannot resist the temptation to debase their money. And when they do, real value escapes. But not every collapse comes from rulers. Sometimes something completely unexpected happens. For example, the Black Death. In the 14th century, it wiped out nearly half of Europe's population. Cities emptied, villages disappeared, trade collapsed. It was like the end of the world. But something interesting happened. People became fewer, but labor gained value. Survivors began to demand higher wages. Land and houses became cheaper. Things that were once a dream to buy were sold for almost nothing. Does this sound familiar to you? We saw something similar during COVID. Supply chains broke. Governments printed trillions of money. Those who had cash bought houses, stocks, businesses. Those living paycheck to paycheck stayed in place. The truth is this: pandemics redistribute wealth. It has always been this way. Let's go to Florence. In the 1300s, the financial center of Europe. Big banks, kings, luxurious lives, and then a king didn't repay his debt. A chain collapse began one by one. Banks failed, deposits vanished, unpaid debt dragged the city into chaos. People realize this. Too big does not mean safe. This lesson has been repeated many times. Florence, 2008 Lehman Brothers, Lebanese banks. Institutions exist not to protect you, but to make profit. And if they fall, they take you down with them. A similar story happened during the American Civil War. The North printed money, the South printed even more. The result? Inevitable inflation. Salaries became meaningless. Money turned into trash. Do you know what was valuable? Land, food, gold, real things. The same in the French Revolution, in the Asian crisis, in Lebanon. And the frightening part is this. This story is not over. It is just reshaping itself. In 2008, houses were lost. In 2020, money was printed. In 2023, banks collapsed overnight. Those said to be too big to fail, failed. So then, we must ask this question: what should be done? History doesn't give a single answer, but it draws a pattern. Sometimes gold, sometimes cash, sometimes avoiding debt, sometimes leaving the bank early, sometimes being able to produce. But the common point is this: not blind trust, awareness. And here is the real twist: collapse is not only a disaster. If you are unprepared, it is a disaster. If you are prepared, it is an opportunity. After the Black Death, peasants became landowners. After 2008, those with cash bought houses. Because crises hand you what others can no longer hold on to. But it's not only what you own that matters, it's what you can do. Those who can bake bread, those who can repair, those who can produce, those who can trade. When money loses value, production never does. Every crisis is a transfer, from those who trust to those who prepare, from paper to reality, from those who wait to those who produce. The question is this: when everything is gone, what will you have in your hands? A promise, or something that truly works? History does not repeat itself exactly, but if you ignore it, the results are always the same.